Thanks for stopping on in for today's Thursday night game here in the NFL between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. If you guys are interested in getting all of our NFL plays for this week's action, you can get those over at stumpthespread.com, linked down in the video description. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel to continue to get all of our NFL pick video plays throughout the rest of the season. Heading into this one, New Orleans, the road team, sitting as about a point favorite here, has gone down quite a bit from where this opened up as them being 4-point favorites, but we're going to be focusing more on the over-under. Right now, the total sitting at about 52 to 52.5 points. That is also down a bit from where this opened up at 54.5 points. Certainly a game where you would expect the offenses to have a better chance than your average NFL matchup, given the fact that it's going to be in a dome, and when the climate is controlled, offenses tend to have a little bit more of an advantage against the defense than when you're out in the open air, especially as we turn into the colder months of the NFL calendar. Also, both of these teams have shown a high ceiling on the offensive side of the ball when they're playing up to their ceiling. Both of these teams right now still in that race down in the NFC South division, both looking to try to claim the division title by season's end. New Orleans, a big surprise here in the NFC, 9-3 overall. Not a whole lot of people were having this team taking a big step forward this year after having some pretty mediocre campaigns in recent years. But the Saints, they've been getting the job done both at home and on the road. They're 9-3 overall, 4-2 on the road. And what we typically see out of New Orleans teams is dominating performances at home and then just a completely different team on the road. But that hasn't been the case as much, at least up to this point in the year, which has allowed them to have a lot more consistent success. The home team today, the Atlanta Falcons, 7-5 overall, not quite taking advantage of their home field as you would like to see, especially in a new stadium, but 3-3 overall at home right now. Both these teams playing some pretty strong ball. New Orleans, great offensively in their last outing, which came at home, getting past the Carolina Panthers by a final of 31-21. And high-scoring games have just been what New Orleans has been able to do, especially when they've been playing in domes. So some recent scoring totals that they've put up: 31 against the Panthers, 34 against the Redskins, 47 against the Bills, 30 against the Buccaneers. And over the past month or so of action, their only loss came on the road against the Rams, and that was by a final of 20-26. On the year, the Saints, they've just been great across the board in terms of their offensive production. They're third in the league in passing, third in rushing, third in scoring average, and about more of a league average defense, right about 12th in the NFL in points allowed. So the home team here today, the Atlanta Falcons, a couple games back right now of the Saints. If they're going to have a legitimate shot at maybe mounting a late season run and trying to take that division title, this is pretty much a must-win game here, the Falcons, especially on their home field. Their offense didn't look great in their last outing, but that was against the Minnesota Vikings, and pretty much every offense has had a tough time against the Vikings this year. So Atlanta fell in that one by a final of 9-14. But prior to that, over the past month of action, Atlanta's actually shown some really strong offensive performances of their own. They put up 34 points against the Buccaneers, 34 points at Seattle, as well as 27 points against the Cowboys. So their offensive numbers are starting to tick up in the right direction after not getting off to the most explosive start through the first half of the regular season. But they now rank 11th in the NFL in both passing and rushing, 14th in scoring average, and also about league average in their defense, 13th in points allowed. Matt Ryan, over 3,000 passing yards so far this year, 16 touchdowns in comparison to Drew Brees, who's at about 3,300 yards and 17 touchdowns. Both of these guys, they have great arms. They have great situations with both of their teams where they're very comfortable and know exactly what they're getting themselves into on a week-to-week basis. In terms of the game plan, they have a lot of control over that. We expect this to be an offensive-oriented game. And even with this over-under at a fairly high number here, at about 52 points, it has gone down from where this opened up as. And we see this in the controlled environment of a dome probably being a higher scoring affair. So we're going to go ahead and side with the over here today as our NFL pick video play. And again, guys, if you're interested in getting all of our NFL plays for this week's action, you can get those over at stumpthespread.com, link down in the video description. And be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping on in. We hope to see you guys in future videos. Bye.